Okay, I think we can start. I will share my screen. Yeah, okay. So I hope you have a good Friday and a good week. And thank you so much for joining me today. This is my first session and I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, try to do my best. Okay, let me introduce myself. I am a product designer with more than 10 years of experience in design area, and my last place of job, I'm working as a senior product designer in Holland and Barrett. This is one of the biggest, I guess, wellness company in England. Before that, I worked in Alpha Bank. That was biggest private bank in Russia. And before that, I worked in the real estate agency with two mobile applications and websites. Okay, let's start. First rule, there will be 12 rules and some additional tips who will stay to the end of this lecture. So, okay, everything in your design system start with a base cell. Base cell can be even numbers or odd numbers, depending on a project. If you land in already project that exist, I guess they have some kind of a base cell. For example, it's 4 pixels. In this case, basically you can just choose 20 or 24 pixels for base icon cell. That's the classic one. I am especially prefer this one because it gives you flexibility on scaling, and it's and some of the platforms like Google Material Guidelines recommend use these sizes because I guess it's about flexibility and screen size, and when you try to scale the icons, it will have sharp view without any issues in scaling. So another way you can use odd numbers, like for example, cell will be 25. That's okay, but you should be careful in some kind of things where you scale the icons. If you choose this base model, it will be consistent with all your things that you use in your design system, like typography, margins, icons, and components. All these elements should be communicate with each other using this grid system. So, okay, in my practice, I prefer use 24 pixel grid because it's more flexible, easy to work when you try to draw an icons. Let's move to the next one. Collect the references. Rule number 2. It looks like obvious things, but in my practice, when I think to draw some icons, I start collect references. I choose 3-4 different icons from somewhere from stock, from internet. Maybe I make screens on mobile applications from different app just to combine it, compare it with each other, look on it, try to get some kind of a, okay, these icons have this little piece and it's good, but all other part of icons is not so cool. So when you try to draw your own icon, you will combine all these elements and you just start this process of, I don't know, let's call it creative process. And sometimes some of the reference inspire you and you will have completely different one. That's that's all these references given to you. So collect them, maybe you will be inspired into some interesting things. Next one, stick on the one line thickness. If you, for example, make some kind of icons for mobile application, for example, you should use one line thickness because it will keeps your icons in one style. This is one of the best, sorry, not the best, but I guess the most important things in when you try to create style of icons. So try to use everywhere one line thickness. If you look on the left side, you will see some examples. This star have, I guess, 3 pixels thickness of the line, because which with the green marks have 2. And if you put these icons into one line, you will see that that's a difference. It's a little bit heavier, and I think you will choose one line thickness for these icons. But here, another example. This list of paper documents. If you decide to use 2 lines, that's totally fine. I mean, but all your icons should be used the same mechanic. For example, this eye, right? If you choose to use 2 types of line in your icons, inner part of this eye should have thinner. The same with plus and this trash can. So keep it in mind, always use one icon thickness. Yeah, corner radius. Try to keep it the same everywhere. When you this is another one part of style of your icon set. This little house outline corner radius. In this example, I guess it's 2. I don't remember when I created, but yeah, I guess it's 2. And the same with this icons. But if you look on the right side, there is a little bit inconsistent. I underline it with a orange dot, and here. So on the slide, look at the piece that inside of these things. So is it okay, I guess, if you will round this and this outline elements, but keep sharp that one and that one? But yeah, it's good to have all of them the same. But I should notice that it's sometimes it's it doesn't need to do, for example, if you choose a corner radius like 2 pixels or maybe 1 pixel, it doesn't need to do everywhere. For example, in this slide, inside, you can use 1 pixels. Here, where you can see the green spots, I think I use 2 pixels, but it doesn't necessary to have 2 here, because in this case, icons will look a little bit strange, so too much round, but you can just try to experiment with that one and to see the results. If it's okay, you can try to do it again and again with another icons, and you will see, okay, that's fit for me or not. If you will find out it, if you try it, you can use it. That's totally fine to have, for example, 2 radios in your bundle, but you should use it. You should use it everywhere. Rule number 5, that's my favorite one, and the most subjective of all of them. Imagine one of them, my favorite. Imagine that you see this one. Obviously, icon number 2 and icon number 4, it's a little bit out this bundle because it's too heavy. They consist a lot of details that don't need you to recognize the icon. If you put this icon on interface, for example, I don't know, in tab bar of your application, you will see that it's too heavy for them. For example, icon number 2, you definitely can recognize that it's icon for search something as the first one, but the first one has a lot of air and not so heavy like second one. So in product, to keep it consistent, you should keep the same amount of details everywhere. How you can how you can deal with that. You can just put your icons in a line and see, okay, this icon's a little bit heavier than the other one. Let's reduce the numbers of details, just to try it. Next one, this is the most good if you just start to create your own icons. Don't forget about safety spaces. Safety spaces is just little gaps. Okay, we have, for example, 24 pixels cell for icon, and you have 2 pixels on the left, on the right side, on the top and the bottom. That give you a space by 20 pixels, 20 by 20 pixels, and you can be completely free inside this space. You can draw icons which you want, and this space allow you to keep a consistent, to reduce this, to reduce scenarios where you have heavy icons, for example, because this safety area will allow you to use a little bit more air. But as you see, number 3 and icon number 4, I mark it as an orange one, not a green one and not a red one, because sometimes it's happen, sometimes not. But for example, if you compare icon number 2 and icon number 3, number 3, this is a loading icon, and this icon consists a lot of air inside this circle, but to make it weight, to have the same weight as the previous one, we should use 1 pixel from this safety area. That's totally fine, but you should think about it and do it in correct way, just to compare icons with with the other one. I'm sorry. Yeah, compare icons with another one and just look at her and realize, yeah, okay, that icon's a little bit too cloudy for if you compare with another one. Let's think what we can do with that. Maybe do it a little bit bigger. That will be fine. And this, if you look at icon number 4, this pretty much the same rule works there. So that's the hardest one part. And let me show you an example, and we go to some kind of a little practice. Okay. Combine shape elements and adjust them properly. For example, you start designing your icon. You can use, sorry, not 23, 24, of course. You use 24 by 24 cell. Let's use like this green one. Okay. Let's draw a search icon. I will show it quickly. Okay, something like this, I guess. We need a stroke, and we use here, as we have even numbers, so let's use 2 pixel stroke. Okay, we don't need this fill area, so I will turn it off. That's fine, I guess. Something like that, and let's have a 16 pixels corner radius here. Okay, that's fine. I need to combine these icons. Oops, sorry. It's better than you have when you switch pushed shift, because you can turn on some kind of you can do a rotation, for example, for 45 degrees without any problem. So, okay, we already have this icon. There is a yeah, sorry, there is a rule that you can use. For example, okay, we have this shape, but let's try to combine them. Okay, that's fine. We unite these 2 shapes into one. But as you can see, they're still different. Yeah, this is an important one. You should combine it into the one graphic elements. How you can do that? You can do flatten selection, or you can click on the shape element and in a menu choose flatten. That's all. Here, this is a one shape element. On the next step, you will realize why it's important. Okay, next one. Next one, that's okay. I think I don't need this background. I choose white one and put black on the icon. Okay. So you already have your icon. That's totally fine. If you put stroke here inside, like safe area, that's another trick. You will see so icons fitted. So you just can draw this safe area when you start create your icon. But yeah, okay. Another important step when you create icons is just scaling function. If you will try to reuse these icons, not only the size by 24 by 24, but for example, in some screens, another one with a different size, it's sometimes it's happen. You should put, I will copy it to illustrate the difference. Oops, sorry. Like that. Okay. Yeah, that one. You should put the right constraints on it. Scale and scale. Also, you need to do the same with the shape inside your icon. Scale and scale. Okay. I will turn off the stroke like a safe area and just you will see this icon. I will fill. Let's use that one to illustrate that it's this search icon inside the shape. So I will copy it again. That is original one, and this is the updated one. Imagine you have, I don't know, for example, in your mobile application, some kind of a screen when you try to find something and there is no results. But you don't want to create another illustration or something like that. So you just can do this 128, for example, bam. And your icons scalable with the same proportions. The line thickness is going to be bigger. And what happens if we use that one without these settings? I hope it works. I don't try it before. Don't prepare it, but yeah, let's see. Let's make, yeah, that's it. Icons is not scalable. And if you save it, so you can't use it in your design system, because you always need to put these constraints inside with scale criteria. This is an example how you can reuse icons, which size originally 24, and you can use in different sizes, 64, 96, 182, and it will scale correctly everywhere. And that would happen on the right side if you not scale it in correct way. You can reuse it with the same proportions of thickness, line, and elements. This is an example where you can see the different types of scaling settings and what happens with icons if it's not correct. So yeah, just try to always keep it in mind that you should put this criteria into scale. That's all. It will be works correctly in all dimensions you need. Let's move to the next one. When you put icons into a collection, so you always need to keep in mind that it's good to have one color for them, because I don't know, all developers and guys from other teams can use it. And for example, if you put, basically that's happen if you put just you don't have enough time, for example, to choose a color from a library, put it here. You just, okay, that's similar to another one icons, and you choose some kind of a black color, and that's in the beginning maybe that's fine, but try to keep it consistent and use some kind of a style for icon, like a default color. You can discuss it with your design team if you have it, and with developers. So default color on icons should be like black one, something like this. Try to keep it consistent everywhere. Even in good design system, when you have a really big icon collection, sometimes it happens and someone forget to put the right color on icon. That's fine. You just need to correct that, and that's all. Let's move to another rule. Additional grid. That's a really good one. I guess it depends on you. There is no such strict thing. Okay, just use this additional grid system that allow you to draw a good icon, or not just use pixel one like you have in Figma when you zoom into icons. If you ask for me, I don't use this additional system. I prefer just pixel one because I always remember about gaps on the icons, about the safety area, and it's fine. That's allow me to create good icons too. So depends on you. It's not necessary, but I guess it's good to have. Yeah, that's my favorite one of them. So I think this is the most important thing in icon library when you try to keep it, which exactly you should name it. And there is a few situations. For example, like first icon, it's a heart, obviously. But sometimes designer can just use imagination and, for example, give another name for this icon. For example, it's favorites or add to favorite, something like this. It's okay because we're all different and we think in different way, but you should discuss in your design team or inside your product that when you create icon, you should choose the name in that picture that you saw. So this is a heart. Let's give this heart name. This is a star, not a favorite, for example. So let's give a star name. This is another illustration of situation when you have some kind of specific site for your icons. For example, imagine that you need to have 16 pixels icon. That's totally fine. You just put a name and use prefix S. The same with field icons. You definitely need to have heart icon field because, I don't know, in product you add the favorite or you do something like this. So devs can ask you to provide additional types of icons. So just use name and prefix field. Yeah, when you're ready with all your icons, you should publish it into the library, which your teams can use. There is two ways to have icon library. For example, you can use one file for your project and icon library will be inside this file. Or another way, you can use separate file only for icon library. And you decide, definitely, but in some cases, it will be good to have icon library separately because you can use it in mobile applications, on a website, and you can have this different design system, but use one icon system with two different design systems inside, with two different projects inside different projects. So I prefer, for my opinion, I prefer to use icons like a separate library that I published and linked to file which I'm working. So yeah, I guess that was rule number 12. And I have some additional things to you guys if you stay to the end of this session. So this is another practical one. Imagine that you have this cell with icons, some kind of a title and subtitle text, and you decide, okay, I need to change color of this icon, for example, for green one. That one. Okay, you can change it and it works fine. That's okay. But some your friend take it and decided, okay, I don't need this star icon here, and I want to switch it for the heart, for example, or home. Let's use heart. Yeah. Did you see the difference? Does anyone catch it? The color, it doesn't change because settings are wrong. What's the idea? For example, it's one of the hidden tricks, I guess. I will show you again. Yeah, in this example, you see that these colors that we select is changing. I mean, icons is changing, but we keep the same colors. So trick is that one. If you see how I named the frame, it's image. If you go in other icons, it's shape. And if you go into another icons, it's shape too. So this is a last trick, and please keep the name of a shape the same everywhere in every icons. So you will have an opportunity to change icons, and these icons will keep the settings that you put on these icons. For example, color or something. Yeah, that's a good example, and someone doesn't know it, but it's makes your life easier when you playing with icons and put it on your product. I think I stop share my screen, and yeah, if you have some icons, sorry, some questions, I will be glad to answer you. Yeah. The first one. Which is the most ideal when creating icons, combining shapes or pen tool? You know, sometimes I'm use both technique. For example, with this search icon, I just use a shape, and that's fine. But it's because these icons are really simple, just two figures. That's all. If you create something like, I don't know, more complicated, you definitely can use pen tool, but don't forget to use this technique with a flatten and combine all elements into one shape. Subtract over union. For more complex icons, when do you use subtract over union? Sorry, I didn't catch the questions. I can Amber, right? I can.
Yes. I just was curious because I know that in Figma you can subtract or you can use the union button, and in the magnifying glass that you made, used the union button. I've always used the union button, but I'm really curious where there's an example of using the subtract in Figma.
Oh, subject, you mean you minus some kind of fill-in area, right? Oh, yeah, okay, no problem. Give me a second. I will show you something. I will share my screen again. Yeah. Do you see Figma, right? Okay. Yeah, that one. It depends on you. For example, I don't know, here you can create it in some Oh, sorry, that one. Okay, I have. It's not relevant. I don't want to spend so much time to show in a correct. Yeah, like this. If you sorry, Zoom panel closed my view. I can't. Yeah, that one. Subtract, you mean? Yeah, like this. I mean, this is an example where you can use it, but it depends on your situation. For example, if you, I don't know, try to do another type of icon like this, and you want to exclude some kind of area inside. For my opinion, there is no rules how to use shapes, because two things that you need to always keep in mind. Okay, for example, in our case, we have a line thickness like 2 pixels. Just keep it in mind, you should have it. Okay, we have a six here, but that's fine. How to scale the icons for a different size? Yeah, okay. First of all, combine all layers as we do here. I will share screen again. Let me. Yeah, that one. Okay, the main idea, you just select all your layers, combine it into one shape. You can use this menu. Can I use? Yeah, no. Yeah, that one. We have two shapes, this round one and this holder, I guess. Can I name it holder? You just make union selection, and after that flatten. But Figma was updated, I guess, a month ago, and they have right now this flatten selection. You just select this shape, and makes flatten selection. Let's try this one. This is a good example. I will copy this icon and try it here. Okay. Yep. Flatten selection. Oops, doesn't work. Okay. So I will unite. Let's go into another questions. How to scale icons from a different size. Rajiv, did I answer to your question? Maybe. Sorry if I pronounce your name incorrect, but
that's right. But why do we was that? Why do we do the union? So
where I do union?
yeah, you just combine the shape, no? So okay, you flatten the shape, no? So there are two shapes, and you flatten it. So why did you do that?
What? I'm sorry. Why did you do? Why I do that? Yeah, because if you try to export icon, for example, in SVG format, if you not do it into one shape, it can be export incorrectly. SVG, it's it's not PNG or JPEG format. It's like formula, and sometimes Figma still have some kind of errors when you export the icons from Figma straightly. So especially when you export at SVG format, which basically use in mobile applications or some kind of websites, it can be exporting correctly. This is a good question. So if be honest, I need to provide you some examples how it export, so it can be just broken or something like that. Figma trying to solve it, but sometimes it's still happening. So you just flatten icon, and it will be consistently one shape and export correctly in most of the ways. So
Yeah, you answered the question. Thank you.
yeah, thank you for question. Is there a UI kit that known and trust to use when not designing custom icons for a product project? Yes, yes, there is a lot of websites with icons. I guess Android material guidelines consist a lot of icons. There is a, I guess it's called non-project with thousands of icons, which is free to use in even in some commercial way, I guess. So if you want to use something in Figma, there is a Figma community inside Figma, and there is a lot of free UI kits with some icon examples. And do you think we should create icon pact for every new project, or there's some project what we need just use available pack icons? Yeah, you can use the same icons if you want, if it's suitable. For example, you have a big product where you have Android, iOS application, some kind of a website. You definitely can use the same icons. It will allow you to keep all consistent way and I don't know, recognizable from a brand perspective. Definitely you can use one icons. Why not? If you're like freelancer and you have an icon library that you use and you try to use it in every apps you create on a freelance, I don't know, maybe you should think about it to switch another icons bundle. But yeah, it's okay to use the same icons in some group of project. Why not? Can you show an example of a process to create an that has a fill and not the border? Fill icon, you mean? Yeah, it's pretty much the same. You just use some kind of a form. Let's try to use something. Same rule. Okay, let's do everything correct. 24 by 24. You can use it in white if you want, but sometimes I try to give some kind of a background. It's pink. Yeah. Okay, let's use something. I don't know, star. Yeah, this is a complicated one. For example, I need stroke. Why not? Okay. No, I don't like this one. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Star has complicated shape, so you need to play with the settings to do it in the right way. Okay, we have this 38-degree angle, but maybe we can want 60. No, a little bit fat. Let's use 45. That's okay, 50. 50, that's fine. Yeah, okay. And for example, corner radius, let's put 1. I guess that's fine, but maybe a little bit too much. Let's use 0.5. I think that's better. And put, for example, this color. Because of a shape, this icon looks a little bit unbalanced, so maybe you can just move it a little bit like this one, like optic gives this icon a little bit optical compensation, but yeah, that's fine. Let's switch off the stroke. Yeah, I guess that's fine. That works. Let me check another questions. Yeah, I guess that's all. Thank you guys for your questions and for your time at this Friday evening. I know you can do a lot of things. Yeah, but I hope it was good. That was my first lection, so thanks for your attention again. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write me at ADPList, or maybe you need a consultation or something like that. We'll be glad to help you. Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Bye.